CA Mukul is an external auditor of Beige Limited, a large company engaged in the manufacturing of fast-moving consumer goods. After assessing the internal audit function of the company, CA Mukul decided to use internal auditor of the company to provide direct assistance. In the context, what is meant by direct assistance under the relevant standards on auditing? Also comment whether prior to using the internal auditor to direct assistance for the purpose of audit, CA Mukul is required to have a written agreement or not. Give examples of the procedures in which CA Mukul shall not use the internal auditor to provide a direct assistance. So what is direct assistance? There's whether they should enter into an agreement. There should be an agreement between the external auditor and internal auditor, and where the CA Mukul, that is external auditor, should not use the work of the internal auditor. So all these things, internal auditor providing direct assistance, this is defined under SA610 using the work of internal auditor. The direct assistance refers to the use of internal auditor to perform audit procedures under direction, supervision, review of the external auditor. Here's the external auditor, independent auditor, they are all one and the same. Remember that. Again, direct assistance refers to use of internal auditor to perform the audit procedures under direction, supervision, review of the external auditor. Prior to the using of internal auditor to provide direct assistance for the purpose, the external auditor shall, so here who is external auditor? Mr. Mukul. First of all, obtain a written agreement from an authorized representative of the entity that internal auditors will be allowed to follow the external auditor's instructions. So you have to obtain an agreement in writing that the internal auditor will follow the instructions and of the external auditor, and that's the thing. An entity will not intervene in the work of the internal auditor. That's the thing. So they should not intervene. Intervene means they should not interfere in any manner. That's the thing actually here. To perform the activity of the external auditor. That's the thing here. And further, what happens actually, you have to obtain a written agreement from the internal auditor that they will keep confidential specific matters as instructed by the external auditor and inform the external auditor of any threat to their objectivity. Is there any threat to their objectivity? That is what you have to check actually here. So now, written agreement is basically that these people will keep the matter very confidential, specific instructions, and you should inform external auditor about any threat to the objectivity of the internal auditor who is providing the direct assistance. The external auditor CA Mukul shall not use the work of internal auditor to provide direct assistance. In what are the circumstances where he should not use the work of the internal auditor to provide direct assistance? Like for example, where procedure which involves making significant judgment in audit, like say example, choosing of audit procedures, assessing ROM, where too many judgment is involved, there you should not take the assistance of internal auditor. Similarly, procedure relating to higher assessed ROM, where judgment is required in performing the relevant audit procedures or evaluating the evidence gathered, is more than limited. So there also, see where you are assessing ROM, risk of material misstatement, and where judgment is required in performing the relevant audit procedures, they are evaluating the evidence, there you should not take the assistance of internal auditor. Procedures relating to the work with which the internal auditor have been involved and which has already been or will be reported to the management are those charged with governance by the internal audit function. Then the procedure relating to decision that the external auditor makes in accordance with the standards on auditing. So standards on auditing, in such case actually what happens, standards on auditing regarding the internal audit function, there the standard says that, say example SA505, the direct confirmation from the customer should be obtained by the direct confirmation should be obtained by them actually. That is the thing. So any direct confirmation, basically, my dear soldiers, it should be obtained by the by the external auditor. There you should not take the help of the internal auditor. Their internal auditor help is not required to be taken. Assistance should not be taken. Say external confirmation. External confirmation has to be obtained by the auditor. So there you should not take the assistance or help of the internal auditor. Okay. So this is what it is actually about, the direct assistance of internal auditor, and when you should not use the help of the direct assistance for the purpose of audit by the external auditor. Okay, that's the thing actually.